heavy thunderstorms with high winds and heavy rain. Spring is upon us, which will bring us many of these heavy thunderstorms. Tornadoes. We've had our share out here of tornadoes. And large hail. Disastrous hailstorms. And not to mention our winter storms that we've had the last 3 years. All threaten our electricity. So what are we going to do? Let me show you. Good morning, my peeps. This is Jill with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, Canning, Recipes, a little bit of everything. Today we're going to talk about backup battery power, and we're going to tell you why we need here on our farm backup battery power. So the first and foremost thing is, you saw from my opening, thunderstorms and ice storms. Now, we have not lost electricity very often out here until recently, and it came after that 2021 ice storm, and as a result, our electricity bills have skyrocketed. But our storms seem to be increasing in intensity, and one of the things we just can't have is losing electricity, and one of the main reasons is this high tunnel. We have 2 high tunnels here. We have about close to $100,000, guys, invested in our 2 high tunnels. We have this small one, which is a 20 by 40 or a 30 by 40, and we have the big one, which is a 40 by 96. So we elected to go with the Gothic style roof on these high tunnels. Now, you can get the hoop houses, which is a single FEM, but we went with the Gothic style, which has an inflatable layer on the roof. And let me show you the pump. And the pump inflates air in between 2 layers on our roofs. And you can see it right there. And why did we opt to go with this? We opted to go with this because of the storms that we get and the hail that we get. The way this works, our high tunnels are rated for 100-mile-an-hour winds, and that is only if the top is inflated and it's closed up. Should we lose electricity in the middle of a thunderstorm and it be extended and we have high winds, guess what? These roofs on these high tunnels could easily collapse. The wind would catch that top layer. We do have the bottom layer, but the wind would catch that top layer and it would start flapping, and we've seen that happen, and luckily we were able to get them reinflated pretty quick. This gives you a good view of the large high tunnel. You can see where that air is inflating that roof. And here's a view from the inside. If you look real carefully, you can see where that air is pushing into our inflatable roof, our 2-layered inflatable roof, and keeping it safe. So again, it's very important. And this roof, again, is rated for over 100-mile-an-hour winds, but you saw that hail in that video, and that is at our property year before last. It repelled those giant size hail balls, at least the little one did. This one is designed the same way. Now, again, if you have just a hoop house, you're not using a pump in the inflatable roof. But here in Texas, with our extreme weather, even ice, but the high winds and the thunderstorms and the hail, and then we had the ice storms, and that ice, guys, was probably about a ½ inch sliding off this roof. If we did not have that inflatable roof, we could have been dealing with some kind of collapse. Now, that's just the damage that it would do on the high tunnel, not to mention if we have these things full of our crops, that would also damage our food supply. Needless to say, we can't take that chance because of the investment that we've put in these high tunnels and in our crops. Now let's talk about our water supply. We have a water well, and our water well pumps into a 2,800 gallon tank. And we will need that pump to pump the water from that tank in case we need water also to water our crops. So Pop's house is up to the well water, and then we use that water to water our crops. If we lose electricity for an extended amount of time, we're not going to be able to get water out of that water tank, even though it's full of 2,800 gallons of much needed water, especially in the summertime. Our first test, guys, is going to be on the pumps for the high tunnels. So it took it a little under 2 hours to charge up fully. So now Greg's going to plug in those motors and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so it's starting to pull. So running those two pumps for those high tunnels, it's telling us how many hours this is going to run if we keep it right where it's at. So it looked like it was going to be a little low at first with the power up, but look, it's increasing now, going up to 8 hours. Nine hours. Yeah, that's good.
That's great.
So I'm gonna walk out here and see and make sure that the pumps are running. Running just fine. Praise the Lord. This makes us feel so much better knowing that we have a battery backup to power these fans for this high tunnel roof, and the other one as well. Both are plugged in. So coming back to the Power Pro, it's showing about 10 hours, guys. That's fantastic to keep air in those high tunnels for at least 10 hours, if not more. So now the next test is going to be a space heater. And why do we need a space heater? Because Pop's house back there may need supplemental heat. Now we have the fireplaces here to keep us warm, but Pop's place may need a space heater to keep pipes from bursting and to keep things warm back there. So we're going to see how this goes. We have it on low right now, and this is a garden line space heater. And on low, it looks like we're going to get about maybe a little over 3 hours. So now we're going to turn it on high. And it drops down. Looks like to about, let's make sure it levels out here. It's putting out over 900 watts. So it looks like we're going to get about an hour. Almost 2 hours out of it on high, so we could always run it on low.
1.3.
Yeah. Let's turn it back on low and see what it does. Okay, so we turned it back on low, and it's a pretty potent heater. It says it'll heat up to 600 square feet, and Pop's house is only 399. So if we ran it on low, we may get, will you hit that button, hon? 2, maybe 3 hours out of it.
Looks like you get about 2.5 on low and about an hour and 20 minutes
On high.
yeah.
So the great thing about this one is, number one, we could charge it with our generator outside, and again, it takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to fully charge it, or it comes with solar panels. Next on the list is an air fryer. So we use our air fryer to heat up food or to cook food. It's a great way for doing both, and we're now going to see what we get from the air fryer. Air fry, roast, dehydrate, reheat.
On 400 now.
Okay, so we have the air fryer on 400. So an air fryer maybe takes us 15-20 minutes to cook, so we could cook with this air fryer
At 400. But
at 400.
I usually go about 350.
Greg goes about 350. We cook chicken and pork chops. We reheat food. If you're reheating food, it's not going to take a lot of time at all. $3.25.
Doesn't seem to make a lot of difference.
No, it doesn't seem like the temperature's making any difference. It's going to use the same.
57 minutes.
About 57 minutes, but you wouldn't need 57 minutes to cook a meal. Okay, next on. Now we have our coffee maker in. So it looks like we're not going to have any issues at all brewing a cup of coffee with time to spare.
You know, we got 8 hours of coffee.
Yeah, 8 hours of coffee making and keeping it warm.
9 hours.
It's going to keep going up.
10 hours. That's all I need.
That's all he needs to know, Greg said, so he can make his coffee. So let's check out the plugs. You get 6 plug-ins, and you can see they're all configured different ways. So when you plug it in, it's not going to be all jumbled up. And then it comes with a cigarette lighter type charger. A telescopic handle so that you can pull it. It is probably about 50 pounds, and this is really going to be great to use if I have to pull it around if Greg's not here. So here's the pouch with all your accessories, and Greg can go over what all of these are. I'm sure these are hookups for the solar panels maybe. And this is for the cigarette lighter. And then it has 2 USB charges for our phones. So this also could be very helpful keeping our phones charged in the event of an emergency. We can't be cut off from our family, guys, and nobody has any landlines anymore. We all have cell phones. So if my sister needed to get a hold of me, if there was any kind of weather interruption that she was concerned about, I can keep the communications open. And this comes with 2 of these. Now this is a big one for me. We have a window unit in our bedroom that could be a matter of life or death for us in the summertime. So we're going to test that out now. Go ahead. So it's running it at 60 degrees. Oh man, I'm impressed.
14 hours?
This is a big deal.
Ooh, 13 hours.
Look at there, guys. So it is going down a little bit, but let's see.
Let's turn.
Yeah, turn it on.
Which mode?
Hit that mode over there. Hit the mode button to the left. Yeah, there. Okay, now let it run.
Yeah, make it chug. 9, 8, It's getting hot. 3.5 hours. 3.4. That's not bad. 3.3.
Looks like about a little over 3 hours, guys. And again, that could be a really big deal for us in the heat of the summer.
It could be a big deal to an older person that could potentially fry in this heat easily. 2 hours.
So just running it maybe 15 or 20 minutes and standing in front of it to get cooled off could be a big, big deal. And that's running it on 60 degrees. If we kicked it up to 70 or 75, it would probably take less. I don't know, Greg, what do you think? Because it wouldn't kick on as often, and it would give us a little bit of a refuge. Yeah, I'm impressed. 2.5 hours, that's excellent. So last but not least, guys, we have it plugged into our chest freezer. And that is where a lot of our goods are. And you know, that's very important in the event of a power outage. And it looks like we have about 36 hours of power. Now, the chest freezer will kick on and off, as you know. So it may reduce that a little bit. But right now, we're looking at about 36 hours. So Greg's going to go over the cords and the power pack that they give us.
That's for your the solar panel.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Input.
Okay.
And here's a from your car charger.
Okay.
And then we got a couple of USB adapters.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
Yeah. So it looks like it comes with another set, which is good to have.
So these are the solar panels. Very excited about this, guys, because even if we have extended outages with our electricity, we'll be able to recharge this with solar power. And again, plugged in and charging, it took a little under 2 hours. And what do you think? How long do you think it'll take?
I think 6 to 7 hours.
6 to 7 hours. Wow. Output 200 watts, 36 volts.
There's your cord to plug in. Pops out nice.
So we'll do an updated video on when we charge this. We're going to run that Super Pro down, and then we're going to charge it with the solar panels and see. But look, nice. Very nice setup.
Ooh. That's really nice.
Excuse the mud, guys. We're recovering from that storm last night. Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So you all know that we had severe weather last night. Luckily, we did not lose power, but we had this on standby just in case. And we had high winds all through the night. So if we would have lost power during that storm last night, we could have had some damage to those high tunnels. And I think that's where I have the most comfort. Now, if we don't have wind and we lose power outage, we could use this inside the house for things that we may need and keep it charged up with those solar panels. So we're very excited about that. So the question to us isn't, could we afford it? Because it is about a $2,000 system. The question is for us is, could we not afford to get it? And the reason why, again stated, is we have a lot of money invested in those high tunnels. And I want to be sure and clarify that we have about $100,000 invested in those high tunnels. And that includes our water well, and it includes all the lumber that we had to put into it, and includes all the soil and all the extra purlings. So that's some clarification for you guys. we just simply can't afford to lose all the work that we've put into it. So we're very happy to have this VanPower Pro 1500, and we feel very blessed actually to have it, because I was resting a little bit easier last night, knowing that if we lost power, we were going to get probably about 10 hours of power from this battery backup system. So I'm going to put the link below for you guys to check it out. I know a lot of homesteaders are using these, a lot of farms are using them, and again, we feel very blessed to have it. So check them out, and we will continue to do updated videos on this system. And I think I wanted to add that a box fan will run about 12 to 15 hours on it, and that could be very important to us too in the summertime here if we lose any kind of electricity due to storms like we had last night, guys. So thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them. See you soon.